Good evening, everyone. Hey, ER. Hey, Bigfoot.
What's up?
I'm in the big chair. How's everyone doing tonight? Let's think.
We just got some crazy news to talk about. Blake stumbled upon today. So
Yeah, I come across it this morning and didn't really know what to do with it until I talked to.
she texted me with it at work, and I'm
Well, you
like,
can't read
I got
it.
no time to read this. So
Ain't no one got time for that.
we got our friend Eric in chat,
Mm-hmm.
and that Bigfoot Lake guy, whoever that is.
I probably should have brought my phone over to deal with chat, but I got some really awesome friends and family moderators, so there it is, actually beeping at me right now. So we're gonna wait for a few of you to drag on in over here. Hey, Susie D. Hey, Swen. Sean. Swen.
I think it's Sue.
Sue. Suen. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Suburban Hillbilly. KP Heathen. I like that. Yeah. My name's Heather, and they used to call me Heathen sometimes because I was always getting into something. Good evening, Lewis. Back here in spam.
He's never going to forget.
He's never going to forget. I mean, that is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm already hot. About 10 minutes ago, I could feel the heat because I'm going to go live.
She gets so nervous when it comes to going live, and I don't know why.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, we've got the air conditioning turned way up, and we probably should have had it up prior. But I didn't know I was going to do this. So I was going to make a video and threw back and forth whether we were going to go live or not. There you is.
Yeah.
Good. Maybe they can look at you while I read.
No.
No? Oh, man.
Right back there.
All right. So as most of you know, I'm not the best reader. I'm going to read and somewhat skim through. I am going to have to be a little steppy, tiptoe. You know, like, what was that Tim guy? You know, that tiptoe song? That song was creepy. I feel like that through these.
Yeah, you got to be careful somewhat.
Yeah. So be careful, please, what you say in chat.
You said Prepping 101's not going live tonight, right?
No. Would you mind grabbing my phone though for me?
Sure.
Okay, because I was actually talking to Prepping, and then I got really hot and had to go like wash my face. Hey, Peanut. So I'm just gonna wait again for Bigfoot to come over with a phone, and then we're gonna get on these articles, which I also left in the description of this video for citing my work and for the tube.
Hey, Peanut, good to see you. Hey, Jeff, how you doing, brother?
Let's see my channel. I got my goofy laugh there echoing in the background. Man, my laugh has gotten goofy the past few years. Just kidding. It's always been goofy. Okay, so the first article I saw this morning, I'm going to wait till last to do that article. Because when I read that article this morning, although a bunch of red flags went up sparking in my mind and my brain and my heart, it's this article that I found this morning. I don't know. We're going to see if you guys pick up what I'm going to be dropping. Hey, Bushcraft. Okay, so largely unnoticed Who Moves forward with global governance plan.
So the World Health Organization.
Former Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann sounded the alarm Monday about developments coming out of the WHO, or the World Health Assembly, that suggests that the World Health Organization is intent on establishing a platform for global governance through healthcare in the wake of the thing that we've been dealing with the past 3 years.
Okay, can we stop there for a moment? So I think most of us probably saw this coming.
some of us already knew that this was already rolling out.
Right.
Right.
And we got to be a little careful how we talk about it. But, after what we just went through for a few years, certain organizations in higher ranks were able to grab hold of some power, and they found out they could control some things, and they've gotten a little bit hungry for that. And the WHO, it appears, is trying to take advantage of that situation even further. So
Right.
that's what this article is about.
So on Sunday, the WHO kicked off its annual 10-day World Health Assembly in Geneva, Switzerland, described as the decision-making body of WHO concerns over the WHO's actions have been steadily building since the beginning of the thing we were dealing with the past 3 years. When observers noticed that the WHO's deference to China arguably worsened this,
The spread.
Yep, the spread. So I'm going to skip down just a little bit. In addition, observers also pointing out that Biden administration is working to enable the organization to centralize authority, not just for pandemics,
Yeah.
but for any health emergency in the hands of the direct general. Now, says Bachman, the current World Health Assembly is poised to increase the WHO's mandate over the healthcare decisions of sovereign nations.
Right. So you have a world, that is the world organization, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these sovereign nations are not going to have rights over themselves. I don't know. It's just a big power grab is all it is.
Yeah.
They saw the power that they could get through this last pandemic, and they just got their claws in, and even our own, I don't know that you can call him president, but our own person in the White House is pushing for this.
Yeah. So she was reporting from the ground from Geneva on Monday's edition. So one is through, I probably shouldn't read that. The second is through a package of about 300 amendments to the international health rules. Both lead to the same result. Both lead to the creation of a platform for global governance through healthcare. And it is a web that locks us in, the likes of which we've never seen before.
So there's some key words there. Scroll back down just a little bit. It says, leads to the creation of a platform for global governance through healthcare. So any medical emergencies or future what have you, they can institute all of these new procedures, this global governance. It's pretty big. This is big.
Yeah. So Bachman went on to observe the potentially massive ramifications of the decision being made at the WHO Assembly are happening with surprisingly little fanfare. There were no members of Congress here, she pointed out. I was actually shocked because this has been a big issue that a lot of their constituents have rightfully been very concerned about. There was no American press here, so how would anyone know what was going on unless they watched it for themselves?
Right. So no U.S. representatives there, no members of Congress, no media, and the WHO coming together to make these decisions over sovereign nations.
Right. Right. So Bachman, who currently serves as dean at the Robertson School of Government at Regent University, further noted that the WHO's view on the thing we've been dealing with the past 3 years appears to be exactly the same now as it was at the beginning of the thing. We've learned a lot of things in the last 3 years, haven't we? And the WHO.
Yeah, be careful about that next part.
Yeah. So,
I mean, what they did force many people
Everything that we
to
went
put
through.
things on their face or put things in their body.
Or stay home.
Right. So.
And they acted like everything was just normal.
Right.
Yep. So Bachman then laid out their plans going forward. They're planning to meet in New York City in September. They'll go over the progress that they're going to make in January. They'll give a final completed package of the 300 amendments together with a global pandemic treaty to the World Health Organization. You ready for this one? And the UN. You know my feelings about that, especially with biblical times. And then they'll meet again in Geneva next February. But 1 year from this week, they will take the vote. And so they intend to vote for a platform for global government and to give themselves the power that no one has ever seen before. The former Congresswoman from Minnesota also describes the U.S. government's involvement in the WHO's agenda. So she heard from Secretary Xavier Becerra, the head of the Health and Human Services, who said he wants more biosurveillance. In other words, surveillance of our bodies. And they want to share that data with everyone else in the world. That is highly invasive.
Yep.
They are very clear today that they want very bold language. They intend to have surveillance over every citizen on Earth, and they intend to
control us.
Through the healthcare.
Control us through healthcare. And we just watched it happen. A few years ago, you would think that's absolutely bogus, ludicrous, but we just watched a whole lot of control through healthcare.
Yep. The number one word that they used besides urgent was equality.
Yep. Equality. That's the big thing.
Yep. So there was nothing about breakthroughs or cures or anything like that. It was just everything was about giving themselves more power and more authority, control. So Bachman called on Congress to start confronting concerns over the WHO's attempt to power grab sooner rather than later. We need our senators to wake up, hold hearings, pull these documents in, start to review them. They're thinking they'll wait until January. That's pretty late because the next meeting will be in Geneva in February. The final vote will take place in May. They should have been there this week, and I would call on House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, as he is negotiating for raising the debt ceiling, to put on the table that Joe Biden has to get the United States out of the World Health Organization and pull their funding as the price of raising the debt ceiling.
It won't happen.
No.
It won't happen. It's too, you want to click back to StreamYard?
Yeah. I'll do that.
To actually expect your congressman nowadays to actually stand up for anything that's right or for freedom or for our benefit, it's not going to happen. You cannot depend on them at all.
Hey, Red Scout. Good evening. Yeah. So that brought me back to what I read this morning, which I really hope you guys heard everything that I read, even though I'm not a strong reader, but I certainly do try.
Well, and Lake put the link to both of the articles that we're going to be talking about. Both of the links are in the description.
Yeah, I definitely would suggest you guys go read them for yourselves as well. Hey, Carson. Good evening.
Carson, how you doing?
All right.
Hey, Bobby. Hey, Dana.
Hi, Bobby. Hi, Dana. Okay, so with that, which this article has nothing to do with that, but in my opinion has, you know what? You know how you guys connect the dots.
Well, here's the dots. I'll share the dots. Okay, we just talked about.
Let me go back to
we just talked about healthcare being used to control people, right? So this other article that she found is healthcare that's how How would you even say it? It's a whole nother level of
It's
something.
a whole nother level of very invasive healthcare. How about that?
Yeah. So this is the second article that she wanted to talk about, and then maybe we can have some people up.
Yeah. So scientists develop powerful pulses, and you guys know that I've talked about infrasound, and I've talked about all kinds of sound and them using things for their purpose, with the animals and people, but they're doing some stuff so that can induce immediate hibernation. And their reasoning is it could help us explore space. Okay. But
so they're pulses that can immediately induce hibernation. And that's on humans also. Kind of like I don't know, would you thinking of like a dormant state?
Well, they already have stuff that the military uses that works in a certain way to stun people, even make them sick. Kind of like what Bigfoots are said to do, the infrasound, right?
Have you guys heard of this? What's the title of this again? The
title of this one is
Powerful Pulses That Can Induce Immediate Hibernation. You ever heard of anything like that?
I don't think I'm in all message. There we go. Just checking to see if anyone's. Hey, Klein and CJ, Mary, Harvest Mary.
Do you want me to read this next one?
Yeah, please do that because my voice is getting raspy.
All right, so just real quick, the title of this, once again, scientists develop powerful pulses, whatever that means, that can induce immediate hibernation, and it could help us explore space. Now, is that to put us in a dormant state so we can live longer and get further into space? I don't know.
Or maybe to stay calm while things happen.
Who knows? So scientists have developed new ultrasound technology that can induce immediate hibernation, they say. The system can be aimed at the head and bring on torpor, T-O-R-P-O-R, torpor, a state similar to hibernation where mammals suppress their metabolism, reduce their body temperature, and slow down other processes. The researchers behind the new system successfully brought it in on mice and rats after pointing the ultrasound pulses at the animals' heads. That's crazy stuff. They suggest that it could work in humans and might have important applications for long-distance space flight or medicine, they say. Can you guys think of any positive benefits of this? A human body being put into immediate hibernation for a period? I don't know about that. It says, while further work is needed to understand how it might work on people. By the way, wonder where they'll get their first volunteers. They suggest that it could be used when people have experienced acute emergencies or severe disease. For instance, if someone is in a car accident, for instance, they could essentially be put on ice. That's a great way of putting it. Until their organs are used for transplantation. Might also be useful in long journeys through space, where it would help reduce the amount of resources that people might stay alive if they are traveling to Mars or other distant locations. Mammals and birds keep high body temperatures and burn through a lot of energy. That characteristic is useful host of ways, whatever that means, but also means they require a lot of food and other resources. So they're trying to introduce torpor. You guys ever heard of torpor? That state, it's almost like a hibernation-like state. Slows down metabolism. They seem to think this is going to be incredibly useful. See, it's led to the search for a non-invasive. It's non-invasive in that you get a pulse shot into your head. Other than that, it's not really invasive at all.
I would say that's pretty invasive.
But it says it's non-invasive, safe, and reliable way of inducing the state.
That state, it says, yeah.
All right.
The scientists found that directing ultrasound pulses at mice's heads for around 10 seconds brought on the same conditions as torpor, with their heart rate slowing, their body temperature cooling, and their metabolism slowing.
Yep.
We do the rest.
They also built a special system that was able to measure that body temperature and send more of those pulses if a mouse appeared to be coming back to normal. So they just give you another jolt.
I mean, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 seconds later,
Yeah. Yeah. I think someone in the White House might have had a few of those, but says there are still a host of dangers, however. I didn't see that coming.
No.
However, experiments have shown that it is dangerous to bring animals back from those deep, torpid states and that they might not recover. If the mice, but it's uninvasive. If the mice were in cold environments, for instance, they did not spontaneously wake up. And any experiments in humans would be at risk of repeating those safety issues for people. The work is described in a new paper, Induction of a Torpor-like Hypothermic and Hypometabolic State in Rodents by Ultrasound, published by Nature. Where do you sign up?
Really?
I mean, that is crazy talk.
Yeah. Hey, garden lady.
Hey, what life says
goodness.
the only coma I want is a food-induced one.
I mean, seriously. Yeah, but apparently you won't even need a lot of food or if any for periods of time.
Do we even have a banner?
We might need one.
Maybe we'll put a banner up.
Yeah.
How about this one?
What is
And
that?
I'm her guest, so I'm
Right.
definitely not an expert on nothing.
Right, right.
Thank you for that, Bushcraft.
Thanks, Bushcraft. So if anyone wants to come up and let us know your thoughts and let us know you guys' thoughts in chat if you decide to stay in chat and not come up on panel. I did stop paying personally for my StreamYard on my end. So I'm allowed 6 total,
Yeah,
including
6.
us. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm going to copy the link and paste. Did I do that right? Yeah. I'm
There
on
you go.
fumbly fingers. Yeah.
Yes, if any of you guys want to hop up, have at it. And this can be just a starting point for conversations. We can jump off to whatever you guys want to. Uh-oh. Speaking of non-invasive.
He's not invasive.
You guys know you can share the same StreamYard.
Yeah. Yeah.
That way you pay for one and both use it on both channels.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want her touching my stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
it automatically makes a new profile for each channel.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't pay for multiple channels, which I'm going to stop it anyway here pretty soon anyway.
Yeah, I use it across both of my channels.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah. And just a warning, I'm still under a warning for the next less than 90 days.
Trust me, I know.
I will try to be very, very careful.
Okay. I
In
mean,
other words, I might be top down.
instead of pineapples, we'll use the word torpor. It just sounds weird, doesn't it? That's a really uncomfortable word. When you say,
Hey, what life?
hey, what?
Torpor. That's just an odd word.
It does.
It's actually in a video. Oh, that's how you tame things in a video game. Arc. It's called torpor. And
I've heard it before.
As long as it's the longer it is, the more tamer it would be.
Do you know who else I think I've heard say it, and they say it really funny though, is Awaken with JP. You know, the red-haired guy who's crazy.
He's funny.
Yeah, he does some really uncomfortably weird forest walks too.
You guys ever see? Well, I'm like a fanatic of Shark Week, okay? And You ever see that where they do something with a shark? They get it vertically and they put their hand like on its nose and it like puts it into
Tonic.
Yeah, like
tonic. Yes.
like you sleep, you put chickens to sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a tonic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They first started doing. It all starts with how to wake up coma patients. That's how it started with the sound waves and stuff. They say they can wake up somebody that's been in a coma for years and years. I haven't yet to see it, but that's where it went to, and now it evolved into putting them to sleep.
Hey, T girl. Hey, Ruben. Hey, Carol Z. Messiana. Hi.
Suburban says, Bushcraft family, you're that kid that got in trouble for trying to follow the rules.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? Wildlife, what do you think?
I think it's kind of setting up for. I mean, it kind of set the stage of a lot of things we've seen, in movies, television. We've all seen a space movie where they went in the capsule, woke back up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Men in Black, where they
Men in Black, yeah,
they-
definitely.
where am I?
I don't know if you've seen the movie called Passengers.
Yes.
That's one I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, where he he woke up accidentally and he had like the crappy meal plan. You had to be a top flight to get the good meal plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. As far as I don't know, that's the second one. As far as the torpor stuff, I don't know about that. But torpor.
Is that like parkour?
Yes.
Parkour. That was the word they used.
Oh yeah. Parkour.
Oh,
Okay, so now we have to. Yeah, we gotta say it like that.
Darkor.
Yeah. I mean, anything to make it weird.
If you're going to go to that depth of study as a scientist, now here's an idea for you. Here's one for you. What do you guys think of this? Would this be more beneficial? I think they should implant in willing volunteers some type of sensor that they can trigger and make it like those fainting goats, where you can just sneak up on people and scream at them. They just
Yeah, exactly like those goats.
Torpor!
They're like
Hey, that might be helpful.
his legs right up in the air.
You went and put Jeff to sleep.
Now I'm just scared to say anything. I'm afraid I may get somebody in trouble.
Well.
Yeah, Casey, you're the first guy who tried that. It's named Lefty now.
I
think your first volunteers is going to be the homeless.
No, there are people that sign up for this stuff.
Yeah, there is.
Oh yeah.
Remember that I'm not going to say too much about it. A video I did about them using a spider robot to put things in people's heads.
Mm-hmm.
There was over 1 million people signed up to put a chip in your head.
Good God.
That's nuts.
Well, because they're saying, and I guess they had a lot of evidence to this, but a person with like multiple sclerosis, we have a friend, her name's Kathy, who can't feel anything from the neck down.
That stuff would be fine. That's
right. But
it's
for every
stuff.
good, thank you, Bill. Every good that it does, one hand's doing this and showing the people what we're doing. What are they doing over here?
Exactly.
Because then they get all this funding and whatnot.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Oh, we can help these people out.
Yeah.
But the military wants to give us all this money. Which one am I going to help people or make money?
Right. And 9 times out of 10 with those kind of people, it's right here instead.
Yeah.
And then that's weighing the other hand.
Well, you know what I say when the government gets involved.
Hippie.
So,
What's that?
Probably a lot, Jeff.
well, to break it down and be nice about it, if you want something messed up, let the government get involved.
Agree.
There you go. in a nutshell, right?
Torpor.
Yeah.
No offense to Cashew and the Nut House.
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
Oh,
And she's
I got a
got-
phone call.
Yeah. Well, that I put that video out just weeks ago about they can read our thoughts and figure out their projection, and it's
That's a
really
project.
annoying.
It's really annoying.
Yeah. So I think it was last year, somewhere around beginning of the year, I had showed a monkey drinking through a straw, playing a video game. Bushcraft and I talked about this a lot, and the things that they were doing and how the chip in the brain knew his thoughts and movements before they happened. So it could actually pick up what he was going to do, and the game controller would move accordingly as he played the game.
Not only that, we have smart TVs. They have cameras in them.
Yep.
Why are there cameras in there? They can watch you looking at an ad on TV and see if
Yep.
you like it or not.
Yep.
Not saying that yours is on or anything, but you never know.
That's what they're doing. So
Yeah.
your phones nowadays, your regular
Track
iPhone.
your eye movement and your facial features, all that stuff.
So
Y'all remember the movie Minority Report?
Yeah.
yeah,
That's exactly what they were doing in that movie.
yeah.
Stopping
So
crime before it happened.
I turn my phone off so I don't show all the stuff. But like let's say you have an app up. Take one of those exercising apps. Now my daughter and I have actually tested this out. This is creepy.
Why are you
Some of
showing
you-
Bigfoot's feet?
For some of you that don't know, okay, for some of you that don't know, you can actually go on an app, and if you hold your finger right here for so many minutes or seconds, oh, we got somebody in backstage. Hi, Eric. If you hold your finger right there, it'll actually tell you your heart rate.
Really?
Hey, Bubba.
And I tested it because I don't mind. I like making it weird. Yep, but it actually, and this phone's a couple years old now? My phone's a couple years old, so they already had all this stuff in there. So
Yeah,
by
and
me
the
putting my
oxygen-
finger on the
oxygen
screen,
too. You
Huh?
can read your oxygen on the flash. You
Yeah.
hold your finger over it and it can tell
Yeah.
you
yeah,
your oxygen level.
yeah, and actually too, like let's see if this will pick up. It'll put on this light. I can't get it up there, but it'll have like a little light that comes up too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're reading people's mental states even through their expressions. Like Bushcraft mentioned, the camera is actually picking up your expressions, like you said, your pulse, your heart rate, your temperature. Remember we talked about a couple of years ago about these watches and these things you can put into your room that you can set up to your phone and other devices in your home, like this little box over here. And we were not going to say her name, but
Don't.
it could do up to multiple people. So it could take you and your partner, and it could let one or the other know that one was getting overheated or one was too cold. You could set things up to adjust accordingly. It would let you know if you were in trouble while you were sleeping.
It's our wild man survival.
Hey, Ark Wild Man.
Well, now, if anybody has read my mind, I wonder how many of those people I have sent to the psychiatrist.
Love it.
I had my visit earlier today.
Don't ask. It's his own word.
Well, he wants to know what we're all up to. We're talking about the who wants the control over the world globally
Through healthcare.
through healthcare, and they're doing it, and apparently our administration is for it.
Oh yeah, they already
And
Oh yeah.
with that,
moved forward.
we're talking about this torpor. Want to say it again?
Torpor.
Torpor. Yeah, about this people and animals being suppressed through hibernation.
No, it's a pulse to their head.
Pulse to their head, and there's
And if you start waking up, you get another pulse.
yeah, and there's nothing invasive, they say, about it. How you doing, Matt?
Good. How you doing? Glad you're doing a live stream.
Yeah, I'm not
Good to
too
see
sweaty
you.
tonight.
Good to see you, Peanut.
Hey, good to see you too,
Go
Bigfoot.
to sleep. Go to sleep.
Man,
Remember a couple years ago, it was in one of the embassies, the island below Florida, and they had to evacuate a bunch of people because some were falling asleep, some were getting nauseous. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I'm intrigued though. So it was related to this. It's like some kind of wave or something?
Sound device thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can't say it too much, but
I would say it's directly linked because it seems like the same technology, frequencies, wavelengths.
yeah.
People don't realize how powerful that type of stuff is, and it's hitting you and you don't even know it.
It's like
Yeah, you
sci-fi,
can't hear
but
it.
it's real. Like that's what I think it is. Because you can't see it. It's hard to describe it to people. If their mind's not on it.
It's like infrasound.
Yeah, it sounds like it, huh?
Yeah, I'm I'm the man when it comes to infrasound.
Well, actually, there's one guy that is probably way better than you.
No, there's way more guys that are way better
Like
than me.
like Ron Moorhead.
Yeah.
Might be just a little bit better.
I'm
But
just
you
saying.
are pretty good.
I like Bigfoot, whether you knew that or not.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. Bigfoot, what are you doing Friday?
Who just did?
Friday, I am off call, so I'm available.
Eric left.
Okay, I have a Bigfoot person.
A Bigfoot person?
Yeah, that their YouTube is not very big, but their Facebook is big. They are on Western New York.
Western New York. Okay.
Yeah.
We probably already know them.
Probably.
I was going to say, you probably already know them. But StreamYard has a new thing to where you can get guest or be a guest on other StreamYards.
Hey,
And
Grape Jams.
we kind of found each other this way.
Yeah.
So I don't know them or anything, but I'll probably set it up Friday.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Very cool.
Exactly what Grape Jams wrote in there too.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question real quick when you're done?
Yeah.
No.
No, absolutely not.
And then we're
I
done.
was dignified. No, I'm a little slow on the draw. So, like, you guys are talking about the I don't even know how to say it without getting anyone in trouble, but that's it. Right? Yeah. Woohoo! Like, so, for them, and I think you're talking about what can we say anymore? The U and other letter, I guess. I don't know. UN. Okay. With them, they're saying what that like they have sovereignty over other countries, or what were you guys saying about that again?
Well, that's what it was mentioning.
It was more of a,
even they mentioned sovereign nations. I mean,
right.
I mean, who was under the umbrella of them? You know, who is that?
Who do you think told us to wear the things?
Right.
Oh yeah, you're right. And that's how they learned they could take power. It's like kind of what you guys are saying, right? So what does that mean? Because I was watching this one video where the UN, they went into a building somewhere, some other state, and at that moment it wasn't sovereign space anymore. It was UN. It's like they took over that part of the country. It was under their jurisdiction for that moment. You know what I mean? So does that mean like that they can? I'm just trying to figure out like how much power they have over. I mean, that they let us know about, where they can go in and just tell a country, guess what? We're coming in with our armed forces, or.
Well, they just it wasn't like that, but they sure enforced a lot of things, even right here.
Oh, so they just told the U.S. what it can do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're part of them, so
And this administration that we're supposedly under right now is all for all this stuff.
Same thing with Mexico and Canada because it got looped into it.
Right.
Because of,
And they called that something, the United Northern
yeah,
States, or I don't know what they called it, but
yeah.
it's pretty messed up.
Is
So,
that- I'm sorry, I cut you off.
no, it's okay. Go ahead. Says that what?
I'm just trying to figure out, like, I know I probably sound like a broken record, but like, does that go back to the AC? You think? I know we can't say for sure, but it certainly seems like it. You know what I mean? Like, it's already in place for him to take power, and you know, if there's one thing that's ready to go, that seems
Right.
like it. You know what I mean?
I don't think it could be any closer to being ready to go.
Right.
Yeah,
honest.
right.
I mean, they've already got 300. What did you call them? It's not like our Constitution. I can tell you all that. It was, I want to get the right exact words.
300 amendments to the
300.
international health rules.
Yeah, 300 amendments.
Is that tied into Noahide at all?
Oh, we lost Bear.
Do you guys know if that's related to Noahide? Do they?
I don't know that.
I'm not sure. Hello, Tic Tac Toe from Scotland.
You know what?
Yeah.
I haven't said hi to Eric.
I know. I was just going to say that. And he keeps ducking in and out with the internet.
Well, my battery was going on the phone.
I hope Bear was.
Do you need a
Howard.
pulse?
I think Jeff had a phone call or something.
Down.
Yeah, he said he was dropping down.
Yeah, I guess Bear dropped down in case anyone else wants to come up.
This would be a great time for Ark 11 to make like his
Debut with.
his
Well, I don't
read.
know. A Chinaman. I read that a Chinaman took his phone and ran away with
Yeah.
it. I actually missed that weird ramen noodle eating
Oh
Chinaman.
yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, but you ain't said hi to me either.
I did say hi to you.
He did. He actually, I think so.
And what's even worse is the fact I knew he was talking to me when he said butthead.
Oh, it's better than what you get from me. I call you a butthole.
Torpor.
You torpor my head in the middle of the night or anything.
I'm building a torpor machine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think we have one over there.
Yeah. Sorry, work. I can't come in today. I got torpor.
Really?
Now I'm going to be poor because I can't go to work.
That escalated quickly.
But you have the tar left over. Like, yeah, right. You might be poor, but you still have the tar. You
Got the
like
tar.
build a freeway or something.
Oh my God. I just don't know. This is I've been sitting on these things all day, and I had to talk to Bigfoot before I did any decision making on my own. I'm just kidding. I can do my own decision making. Oh my goodness.
Well, most of the time you do kind of run it by me because, like, I remember like last year, maybe a year and a half ago, she put up a video that violated every rule that you could not do. And she's like, I can't believe I got a strike for that. I'm like, seriously?
Yeah, he's like, you did that on purpose.
I think you tried it on purpose.
Yeah.
Then you got Bushcraft who tiptoes through the tulips and tries to avoid all of it, and they hammer him.
So off subject really, really quick. Cashew wants to know, Bigfoot, can I have some celery sticks? Actually, in this house, the innards of the romaine lettuce, they're real stiff and wide, kind of like celery. So we put peanut butter on those.
Why am I being asked about celery?
I don't know. Okay, that was completely off topic, but
All right. Yes, and I agree
she likes to
100%. She likes to push buttons.
I do.
You guys remember Ren and Stimpy?
Sure.
Oh yeah, rest of
You
it. Yeah.
remember the episode Real Stimpy Push the red candy-like button?
He's like sweating and shaking. That's
Am I the
me.
only one?
Oh, that's.
Oh, I love Brenda Baby.
If I click the link, can I come up with a?
Yeah. Come on up.
What's a ma face?
He doesn't want to show his face.
Oh yeah, you don't have to do that. You don't have to
We
show
didn't even
your
really
face.
like your face anyway.
Who likes your face anyway?
It says the word torpor means numbness in Latin.
Numbness.
Oh,
Right.
thank you for looking that up.
Yep.
Watt's
Yep.
smart, man. I mean, he's
Yeah.
like he's fun to talk to too.
But you think about it, it's like everything we deal with nowadays is just like it makes people numb to what's really happening, you know?
Right.
Yeah, good point.
Right. Yep.
It's like making people.
Your face is sweaty. Yeah. It's not actually.
I was just kidding, Ark. We actually
Yeah.
like your face. We miss seeing your face.
Yeah. I don't mind if your face is sweaty. Mine's actually not. Usually it's my armpits, but they're actually pretty good tonight. Yeah. I know, Butchcraft. I showed him on the last live I did just to let everybody know this is what happens now. My armpits get sweaty.
Weird, but sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good to see everybody on the panel. Bush.
Eric,
ER.
Eric, what do you think about? You were here from the beginning. What do you think about all this?
I think it's a desperate power grab by the DS.
I agree.
And that I really don't believe that would happen here because, you know, any treaty there has to be ratified by our Congress, which is not going to happen. So it's just, it's hyperbole. I'm not knocking it. I mean, they're trying their hardest. I mean, it's true what they're doing, but you put a blue hat on the ground here, it's not going to work out good. So, you know.
It'll be a bit different than that, is what they have planned for their own military.
Yeah, but
our military, their military, other country military, all combined.
Yeah, but then you're talking about our own military going against our citizenry, which I don't believe they would do. You know,
we talked about this today. It's been done before.
Yeah, but these other countries that are involved are not. They don't have the toys that we have, so to speak. So it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
They would want to do it, you know, with the minimal amount of, you know, pain, so to speak.
Resistance or pain, like
Well,
maybe
that's what the torpor
that's
is
what
for.
the torpor.
The numbness. That way you don't feel any pain anymore.
Yeah, I
You're
wonder,
all
if they
numb.
could, I wonder if
There
they
you go.
could, I wonder if they could hook torpor up with harp. You ever think about that?
Mm,
Exactly, Super Dave, Hanso. Exactly. Oh goodness. Yeah, I don't know. I've got so many. I've had all day with this, but I haven't and normally I like click all these words and do like what Life did. And that's really interesting that means numb.
mm.
Yes, it is.
Or like look up certain words and see how they've been rewritten or redefined, you know, over the decades or over the centuries.
Oh yeah, good point. Like a lot of language, it has it's organic and it changes with time, like the meanings and whatnot. Like a shot, if you take a shot of whiskey, that probably comes from some other, like a gun or something. You know what I mean? Or like, you know, they take on different meanings over time, and then
Yeah, like the word woman.
Good night, Suburban.
what about woman? How that changed?
Never mind.
Oh, yo, I hear you. Oh, I get you. All right. Yo, one right here.
Don't forget, there's a sale at Target for Tucket.
Oh,
Just sell Target for Bud Light.
Oh boy. Yeah.
well,
It's right up there with the pocket bathing suits and that tranny fluid. Yeah, I can't with that. I'm sorry.
No, that's off the chain.
there's a thing going out right now, and there are those that saying they're going to be the first one of those that becomes pregnant. There are women that's going to donate their certain parts to be put in these other individuals,
Well,
and
maybe
be the first one to actually have a kid.
well, maybe they could have waited to make the emoji for that until after that happened.
Good night, Suburban. Good night.
Good night,
So-
Sue.
I think
Hey, Arnold did it.
Yeah, there's people actually, again, volunteering to do this. Both
Yeah.
It's not a tumor.
both
Hey, what's up,
men
Gold?
and
Chrissy?
the other things.
It's not a tumor.
Oh
Run to
goodness.
the chopper.
Go to the chopper.
Yeah. You know, this is,
Say Elkanah, come with me if you
That's
want to
right.
live.
yeah, this is not what God intended it. It's not possible without their weird technology of stuff. I
Yeah,
mean,
they actually have to have a
What
woman
was, man?
take their parts and put them in.
yeah.
Way.
This hurts even reading this.
Uh-huh.
I like
Hey,
it, baby.
Hugo.
Out of the cycle.
Well, like you said earlier, a shot of whiskey. You
Yeah.
know, that comes from back in the days. You'd have cowboys. They'd be strapped for cash, and they say, "Hey, bartender, can I get something to drink?" And they'd give the bartender a bullet
Yeah.
or some ammunition.
I thought that was so I didn't know the exact story what, but
But
yeah.
all those little sayings, they have
Yeah.
like real meanings. You
Oh,
know, it's
yeah.
like a story in itself.
Yeah, for sure. Man, you're a smart guy. Like, and we were talking. The way you guys be thinking too is about like the linguistics, because how language changed over time. Like, for example, if you look back at like Shakespeare isn't even Middle English. That's like considered modern English, but a lot of the words in there are like the KJV. It's the language they use is different than what we would use now. And then if you go back to like Middle English to Old English, it's like German. You can't even. It's so far back from how many times it's morphed.
Yep.
You know, and then actually what they use is they look at words and the history of words to figure out the how language has changed. There's like mathematical principles they can use to figure out, for example, how the horse was first domesticated like 5,000 years ago or something. Maybe it's 5,000 to 7,000 years ago. So they could tell like where that culture came from and then how they. So you could actually. That's one of the things I think about. Like where all these people talk about like mud flood theory and how like all these these resets and all that, which I don't really believe, because if you look at the linguistics of language and how it's changed over time, that would be so complicated to change the whole organic growth of language going back centuries and thousands of years and all the archaeological evidence and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's fascinating. And they're used language now. It's like a weapon, where like you're Bigfoot brought up woman, or all these other things that they use to silence and change what you can and cannot say. Even on YouTube, you can't say certain things. And it's
Right.
designed to control and control makes me. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much.
No, you're not.
No,
And it's
go
for
for it.
control and manipulation.
Yeah, because like I was looking about how like Ford's going to stop using AM radio in their cars, right? And like other companies are doing the same thing.
Really?
And so, yeah, and I don't know quite a bit. Maybe Bush might know more why they're doing all that, but like I think it has to do with control, because they did the same thing with like with television, right, where they got rid of the regular TV analog, whatever it is, and everything is digital now. And I think it has to do with control, because if everything's, because regular TV, they can't really control or watch or learn what you're watching every second, just like the difference between cash versus a digital currency. So they want to know like what you're listening to every single time, and it's all going to get filtered, I think, through the same B system. So they'll know what you're watching, and they can't do that with analog radio. So I think that's probably what they're going with on that, but I could be wrong though.
Well, we had this thing called, free speech of like the media and the news and stuff like that. But nowadays it's like certain media and news is even censored. They can't say stuff either.
Or, wow, I'm not surprised. Yeah, it's this trip.
Or-
what you guys brought up earlier is just amazing.
And then if they do, later on, it's kind of turned around where it's either said to be not true or you get somebody on there apologizing. It's absolutely absurd.
Oh, like they backtrack on what they say or something.
If you think about how all of this, because it's connected, if you even break down the word television, tell lie vision, tell a lie through visuals.
Oh, good
you
point.
know,
Yeah.
and it gets your mind comfortable to certain things, which leads up to the torpor, which you were talking about earlier. You know, it has to come in stages with these type of people. It's the long game with them.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. And like just they're like, yeah, oh my god, that's the way the whole thing is. Just what's tripped to me what is like how like with the language, how they're brainwashing people, like to the point where like for example, like everyone else, like everyone doesn't know what their gender is anymore. It's like the most basic thing, and now it's like even down to that basic thing you're born with, people are questioning that. And then it reminds me of like all the race baiting, what's the word I'm working for? Brainwashing that goes on where they pit men against women or blacks versus whites or all this other stuff. And to the point where like what's funny about it though is when that programming breaks down because they didn't anticipate something happening. Like recently, I think it's Netflix. They did a documentary on Cleopatra, and they're trying to. A lot of people don't notice, but they were trying to paint Cleopatra as being black. And I don't really care if she's black, blue, or purple or whatever, but that's actually not historically accurate because I just learned this recently, but she came from a Greek line of dynasty, and that goes back to the bloodlines of Alexander the Great, and they're like a lot of royalty is they're inbred, so they were very careful about their bloodline. So but the point where I bring it up though is because where the programming of this is black, that's white, that thing, you're racist if you're white or whatever, that's all works for a U.S. But when you go to another country like Egypt, that's where that programming breaks down because that wasn't meant for that culture. So the bigger that everything goes global, you're going to find those conflicts that don't match up, and it gets embarrassing for them. You know what I'm saying? Because then they have to explain why Egypt is suing Netflix now because they're misrepresenting their history, and they called like Egypt racist or whatever, but that word doesn't really work anymore in that context.
Yeah, I agree. And you talked about the baiting, and that disgusts me so much. It's like people who got along just fine before, never had any problems. They've been injected with this media, and now all of a sudden they see each other different. It's like we loved each other before all of that. What happened where I'm not the same person I was, 2 years ago?
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, I agree. And like it's to the point where where I'm just because they have their goal is to take down the West. I think because they have to make a way for the new world order, and they kind of get
absolutely.
Have you guys noticed that people in general, not like really so much on YouTube, but yeah, there too, but like anywhere, like environmentally out and about, your family, at the store, if any sort of conversation comes up or in the heat of any moment, whether it be positive or negative, have you guys found that certain people get very hot to trot to like just jump and defend?
Rage.
Triggered or whatever, right?
Yeah, and then they'll start spewing all this stuff out, and you just look at them like
the road rage.
Yeah, the number one driving force behind all of that garbage, social media.
Yeah,
it is
interesting.
They all repeat the same stuff. They all say the same stuff. It's really scary. It's like completely programmed in,
the internet,
and they don't realize
the internet and social media. You can just watch the masses of people being directed, and right now there's a direct line right down the middle, and it's like if you don't, nobody crosses the lines anymore. There isn't a middle. You're either way right or you're way left. The middle, it is gone.
It's not gone.
It is.
We got it kind of.
It is pretty well gone.
Oh yeah, you're right. They were programmed. I get in the red line. I get in the blue line. I could
100%.
Yeah.
It's like if you're on the left, you automatically support. There's the checklist. Abortion. There's right down the line.
Yep. Oh, I agree. I completely agree. And it's like we're conditioned at so many levels, left, right, red, blue. We keep marching, and then like the whole thing is either one. They laugh though because they control both sides. It's just either way you end up, going to the slaughterhouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right, and it's designed to divide 100%.
Yeah.
And our great America has been shattered right down the center, and I despise politics.
Me too.
Despise, and this is just my personal beliefs. You can, like, if you go all the way back to Ronald Reagan.
Right.
When Ronald Reagan won the election, it was a flipping landslide. I mean, he got almost 100% of the electoral votes. It was a massacre. Since then, this country's been so divided. If you go back, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 presidents worth, it's gotten worse. In my opinion, the last 5 presidents, and yes, I'm including that one, the last 5 have been the worst in the history of this country. And the reason why I say that, because none of them tried to bring it back together. It's divide. If
divide and conquer.
You're either way on the left or you're way on the right. Our country's split, it's fractured, and it's weak because of that.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what they want us.
Yeah, you're right. They want it that way.
That's wrong. Like we did the thing where we did it twice.
But
I would
do it again as well. However, he is not the answer. He's not the answer.
The first 2 years of a president coming in is to change what the last president did.
You're exactly right.
No matter what, if it was good or bad, it was just, got to get rid of it because we don't want nothing to do with the other president or
yeah, it's sad, and it's. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Belton.
No McDonald's. We don't do that.
Yeah, we won't. Actually, Josh has been taking his own lunch now.
It's been over a month.
No, it's been months. It's been going on almost 3.
Yeah, you save a lot of money, and you're not eating garbage.
Yeah, and you feel better.
Yeah, except for torpor.
And you mentioned like politics. Bigfoot. It's the way I think of it too is that like everyone is looking for a leader that they're going to follow. It's going to fix all their problems for them. But like to me, that's the setup for the AC because he's going to be this guy who's going to come on and be like, guess what? I got all your problems solved. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take care of everything. You know what I mean? Borders, this, that, and anything. I got this, and people are going to like fall for it because they're looking for a man. I'm not saying man versus woman, just a human to come in and lead them like the Pied Piper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
Yep.
Well, if I'm creating a problem and I'm creating chaos, you best believe I have a plan to make it look like I'm the good guy in the end.
Oh yeah, exactly. The Hegelian dialect. Yep. Exactly what. Yep. Man, I completely agree with you. Yeah.
And it's sad. We watched. It's really hard to see the middle anymore.
Yep.
I
want to throw something at you guys and get your thoughts on this. Peanut, especially, since he's the musician.
Oh yeah.
That's to put me in the coach.
This is a lot of people might subscribe to this theory. I don't know, but when did music change from 432 hertz to 440?
Oh,
so
I'm not sure.
This article says, just to recap, prior to 1940, there were a variety of standards. Although A equals 432 hertz, it was also known as Verdi's A, was one of the most frequently used. It wasn't until 1940 that the U.S. adopted A equals 440 hertz as a standard, with the rest of the world following in 1953. But the original hertz, the 432 frequency in music, what it did to the human body was heighten perception, increase mental clarity of the person, and unlocks intuition.
It's a
Generally,
natural.
this
Yeah.
frequency has been proven to be healing frequency since it reduces anxiety, lowers heart rate, and blood pressure. Now, why would they change that?
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
Confusion.
Uh-huh. So this, think about it.
That's very interesting, Eric. That's a good
Yeah, that's a
point.
great point.
Hey,
Yeah.
Larry.
It's like how many facets of this diamond are there? It's like how many different angles are they using?
It's been cut many times, and they're still cutting at it. So
It's like a kaleidoscope, just ever changing, ever evolving.
I've
You're
done
right.
I've done
that's a
so
good point.
many crazy videos on sound, and I remember not with the water. There's that with all that. They're probably in. I've taken so many videos down. It's probably stuck in my alien, cryptid, zombie folder, and those files over there.
And
That playlist is still up though.
oh, that's good. And go ahead. I'm sorry, Bush. I'll cut you off.
Oh, I was going to say the same thing. I have a bunch of stuff that I need to go back and look at my videos and see which ones I didn't delete, because there's a lot of good stuff that I did back then that I had to delete.
Yep. But it's like, so anything with a yellow thingy, just don't even bother. I was actually looking today, and I'm like, I might not just touch that right now. But this is interesting.
I want to bring up one thing, because I know I talked about the division and the left, the right. There's no middle anymore, and you can really get sucked into that, and you can get so passionate about that, and then you get this heaviness on your heart, and it weighs you down. It will beat you down. You will feel like garbage. You got to take a step back. And then when you're looking at this world, just keep your focus about 6 inches above the horizon. Don't focus on this world, because God's still on the throne. God's still on the throne, and it's he works all of it for His good, and His plan is unfolding. And if you watch, Bubba News, he'll show it to you, because Bubba's all over prophecy.
He's good. He's like excellent at that.
That's why I hate when somebody will put down, oh, Democrats are bad, they're evil, this and that, and then the other side says the same thing. Stop making sides and stuff, or titles and labels on everything.
Well, I look at it too.
Just a way to divide everybody.
Well, I look at it too, to add on to what you guys are talking about. It's like, as soon as I started realizing that in my mind the politics are kind of rigged, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, that's just my view on it. So when I look at it, there's a sort of, I stopped watching the news and getting carried away with all this negative stuff, and I got a lot happier, one, and then two, now I look at things more biblically, like what Bigfoot's saying. And so when I look at someone who's on the left, because I'm more like on the right for most part, conservative and all that, right? But so it's still, you get to where I guess you're trained to think that the other side's the enemy or something. But but I think now when I look back on it and realize how controlled it all is, it gives me more compassion for someone who's on the left. And so like when I look at them, I don't look at them as a political opponent. I look at them as a soul. You know what I'm saying? And so
that is exactly right. And you want to see the status of a nation and through the eyes of God. Look at who's their leader, because the Bible says very clearly God puts all in authority. And we don't like the guy who's in the office right now. Look at the status, look at the state of our country. That's why he's in there. When a country rejects God, He will put foolish leaders over them. He will give them over to
He's done it through history, time and time again, so many times.
Yep, it's black and white.
Have you noticed the new quarters, how George Washington's head is facing the opposite way?
No, I didn't even know that.
Again, he's basically, it says in God we trust. Well, on the new quarters, he's facing the opposite way, away from it. I thought that was pretty interesting.
That is interesting.
That's a good catch, and that's sad.
I don't got a quarter on me.
Wow. Oh, it's on the quarters,
Yeah, the quarters.
the newer ones.
Yeah.
I don't know when they started issuing those out officially.
Ollie, have you heard that?
I don't think
Oh,
you
there's
can
one.
see it on my
There's just got
camera.
one.
Yep, there's one right there.
You can see it right there on the.
Hold on, let me make you solo.
Oh,
You
you know, I
can't
bet it
make it
means.
out, but you can see it on the back.
Yeah,
right
you
there.
can see it.
Yeah, I can see it. It looks maybe it's like saying before he was looking
can't.
towards the west, like the west was growing or something. I'm just speculating. But like
Can't
now
really
he's
make
looking
it out.
back to the east, like everything's like going back in on itself or
Well,
something.
like Watt was saying though, before it was facing in God we trust, and now he's facing away.
Yeah, sorry, why I basically said the same thing you said.
I'm trying.
And you got to get that window fixed, man.
I thought I'd change my bunker since.
You're still getting junk about your bunker.
Well, if I make it junkier, then yeah, I get people commenting and say, "Well, it must be nice to have that nice bunker." Yeah. So I have one now. It has busted windows, and I don't know why the windows are busted under the ground, but yeah.
You need a zombie in there now, Bush.
Right? And there's a hole in the roof too.
Well, I've got my own radiation in the back too.
Nice. Just in case you need that sort of thing. Right. Right. You're all prepping for radioactive material.
Yeah.
Or even like the weird thing about money, how you can fold certain bills and it has certain images on it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
The older bills.
Yeah.
Before they got the big heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
They had
Paula,
the
it's good to
what
see
was it? I don't even know if you can say that. The Knights people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I am going to bid you all a fondue. So,
Oh man.
Fondue? Are you having fondue tonight?
yeah,
Sounds good.
Like,
right.
Peanut fondue.
Well, beer fondue. Bye, you guys.
All right,
Thanks for
brother.
having me.
Take care.
You know,
See you later, buddy.
Love you. Good night,
There, what?
Tina.
There you are. Bye,
Bye, brother.
Hi.
And I've had quite a few people that voted for Biden that has come, to prepping, that they said that they admit they made a mistake. Now there are people that if they know somebody that voted for Biden, they're an awful person and this and that, because they watched the news and watched the media and got in their head that the other guy was bad and we had to vote for Biden. And I've had them tell me that they don't want to say it out in public because they get called bad names and everything, and
Oh wow.
because they had voted for the enemy.
Yeah.
But they changed their mind. They came around when they opened their eyes and stuff.
Yeah. I've seen that where people are like, wow.
I think the toughest thing is when you've got a leader, if you want to call him that. I have another word for him, but it's not my stream. So, who is just blatantly turning things the wrong way. There's no sovereignty here anymore. Open border, drugs.
You're right.
We know what goes on. We know what comes across. We know what they're doing to, and the Green New Deal. I mean, at what point does a human being say, hey, look, you're really doing this to bury this great republic? I'm sorry, but if you're on that side, you're not on my side. And that's the way people think. You are ruining our country with your silly ways. And there's where your division comes from. You know, there's no more middle of the road Democrat and there's no more middle of the road Republican. And just, you know, that's where it's gone to.
Mhm.
You know what sums up the new Green Deal?
Hmm.
In California, they banned plastic straws and paper wrappers for paper straws and plastic wrappers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
They tried that
Exactly.
for a few months and then they
In
stopped.
the plastic cups.
I
Jeez.
tried the paper straws. I do not like them.
No, me neither.
No, I've
Well,
used one once and I hucked it. I ain't doing it. It's
there
weird.
for a while they were outlawing straws in certain areas because that's how
Yeah.
yeah, I can't
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it.
Certain activities can be used with them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Bad people take advantage.
Well, that,
Pinwheels.
they found like a lot of sea turtles, but that's like any garbage, all
Oh
garbage.
yeah.
I
mhm.
mean, how
Yeah.
about people just not throw their garbage in the drink? How about that?
Right.
Or
Right.
don't throw it on the ground. You know,
Yeah.
is everything okay out there? Yeah, you good?
Or the millions and millions of Halloween masks that they just, found washing up and just everywhere.
Oh, I thought I know what you mean, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that there is they had said something about
We do too.
those things being in water. It's contributing to a certain chemical that's in the water now.
Okay, I've got a trivia project for you guys.
Oh goodness, we're gonna go
Cool.
meet.
I love trivia.
Yeah. Okay.
How many of you know what this is?
Well, if they watch anything we do on this channel, they better know what it is.
It's like I think I know. Is it for gardening?
Maybe.
Maybe. Looks
I don't
like
know
a
what you call
a
it.
napkin ring.
No, it's for staking up tenacious.
Friendship ring.
It's
Maters?
for, yeah, maters.
Yeah.
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 And for a minute, I thought it was going to be something else to, take care of a male goat.
Oh my god.
Now,
Oh,
you go. Well, we save these too, so they're reusable as long as you don't break them. We've had maybe a couple break, but
Future.
yeah, they're good. He's proud of his clamps past couple of years. Yeah, Bobby, it is. It's a clamp. So we tie it on, we put it on the tomato plant, and then we go all the way up, like 7 feet. But last year our tomato plants were well over 7 feet, and then they started hunching over. So, but Bigfoot can actually take all that conduit up and add like another 6 inches or 4 inches or however much he wants, and actually raise it this year if need be. But that would be easier to do now than it would be later.
Yeah, mine
Oh, yeah.
were pretty tall, and I would say in the 6 foot range, and then they ended up being about 3 inches. As the tree squished them.
Hey, canine man. Yep, tomato clamps. See, these guys are good. We got some pretty smart people up in here.
Do they have an eye on the clip where you can tie a string onto it?
Yeah, so that's what I do, and that's what he does. But then he found a different way, but we haven't done it yet. So yeah, we just tie it. We use the barrel and twine to go through here,
Mm-hmm.
and then you clip the string there and bring it all the way up, and then you
It's a
just
MacGyver hair clip.
on the Y part of the tomato plant, you
Yeah.
just clamp it right there. But you don't make anything tight. around the stem. You don't want any damage to your stem.
Yeah.
Like if it's going to sway and cut, like that, you don't want this cutting into the stem in any way. So you do have to be careful on how you place them. Hey, Chris McGrath. So, yeah. Anyway, you want to come over here and say hi? You have an opinion on what we've been talking about? Or, yeah. Or do you want to come over here? Or do you need me? Just giving me that look. Another look. Yeah, and then we'll probably end not too long after that. It is going on 10:30. So did you hear what we were talking about earlier? No?
What are you talking about?
You didn't know?
No.
I guess she wasn't up to speed. Beef for what? Tomatoes.
Yeah, B tears up t-shirt strips for tying
Yeah.
up. So,
Yeah, that's a good idea too. Yep. But we don't put ours on post, so I don't. This
Yeah,
one,
I haven't figured that out what I'm going to do with mine this year because the cages that I had are done gone.
no. I like this because you pop that clamp on the bottom once, and then you bring it to the top of wherever, whatever you decide to have. We did raise, the beds where we do the conduit and have wood strips going across, and we just bring the whole string all the way up and we tie it on there. So then all you have to do is, as the tomato grows, you just keep adding clips. So right here in this little notch, there's this little notch right here. When you clamp that, you put that around the string. Get my fat fingers out of the way. So the string will clamp. Actually, I can use this cord. So
it doesn't slide up and down.
yeah, so it doesn't slide up and down. But that clamp will go right back on here. And this is too thick. It's really made for rope. But yeah, it works pretty good. I'm a newbie, 3rd year growing maters. I think that's wonderful. And we're all a newbie at something, and we can always learn more stuff. We've learned a lot from people on here and family members just by reading. Yeah.
Definitely. It's always something new to learn.
Always. Or like those ways you've been doing things for years and you find out somebody has a really good idea that's like way faster and easier.
Like like the life hack or something.
Yeah.
I was this many years old when I realized.
No kidding. We appreciate you too, Connie Carlo. Thank you. Oh, we printed out Allie's homeschool, and the last 2 pages didn't print out very well. We ran out of ink. We got more ink
I
cartridges.
hate when that happens.
Yeah, well, we have more ink cartridges. We just haven't printed out the last 2 pages. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do just do one subject and then do another subject and do another subject. When you get
I was printing out my fishing license last year and it died out. I had to go get ink to print out my dang fishing license.
That's how Bigfoot does his. He prints them out online.
Yeah.
I go and get mine because I like my shiny ticket that has a fish on it. No, I couldn't because something to do with my email something happened and I had to go fix it. So this year I might be able to. I heard somebody was it your live earlier that someone was saying or was it Trust? Somebody was saying that their fishing license used to expire a certain month of the year.
Yeah, that was me.
That's
It
weird.
used to be the 28th of February.
Of every year.
Yep. So if you got it like in December, February 28, it would expire.
Right.
And then now they made it full year. And I didn't know
Well,
that.
that's in Ohio with you. Yeah, Bigfoot remembers that.
Yeah.
So yeah, here it's always been you get a whole full year of fishing.
Yeah. That's the way it is now.
And if you get your license in June, like say June 10th, next year before June 10th, you have to get a new license or it's expired.
Yeah.
So it's every year. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I found out I've got until the end of this or June. So I'm gonna go.
So they make you get special licenses for like ice fishing or something? Because like people are usually like,
We don't have ice fishing here. That would only be because
okay.
it has to be pretty cold for a while before you can. That would be, I don't know, Lake Erie or something maybe. But that would, yeah, I don't think you'd have to have a special license for that.
Wow.
I did find out though, because I was sitting there moseying around the fish, because they made it to where, because evidently it was a crime, or not a crime, but you could get fined for taking a frog and moving it to another location. Or if you found a turtle and you wanted to put it back in the water, if you got caught doing that, you would get a fine. And now they changed it to where, as long as you're doing it to protect that animal, or
So you'd get in trouble for putting it back in the water?
well, like if you're driving down the road and you see a turtle,
Uh-huh.
and you don't want him to get ran over, so you go and move him to a pond or something. If you get caught doing that, then you would get a fine.
Oh, so they didn't want you moving the turtles from one body of water or off land.
Yeah, I can kind of understand it, but
right.
the fact that you get in trouble for that, it's because if, say, there's something in this water where the turtle came from, and you put it in another bed of water, and it spreads to that water. I can understand that, but
yeah, they just don't want you relocating the turtles.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's just like, up in a lot of our lakes, if you go boating, there's these boat washes you have to go to from one body of water to the other, because sometimes, you don't want to be traveling any kind of weird invasive species that might be at this lake that they're not having problems over at the other lake with.
It's invasive mussels.
And mussels, that too. And what else? Something else too.
It's the zebra mussels.
The zebra mussels.
They're horrible. They can ruin an ecosystem.
Yeah, so there's actually boat washes. Yep.
Give zebras a bad rap.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, any last words?
I'm going to bed.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I'm shot. But thank you for inviting us up, or inviting me up.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming up. I'm glad to have you guys, and I'm glad to be here again. And I don't have sweaty armpits this time. I got all hot like for 10 minutes before the stream. So I guess it's getting a little bit better. Plus, you guys helped out, I guess. Yeah, I just thought it was kind of, I don't know. I thought it looked pretty important. I knew it was, and I knew what I saw and felt, but I wanted to know what the big guy thought and felt too. And so if you guys weren't here for the beginning, please go back and watch. I think it's really important information. And if you don't feel like listening to Bigfoot and I and others go on and on and on, you're always welcome to click the links that we left about the articles that we did speak about. but we really would appreciate it if you did watch, because it really helps our channel. So, Bushcraft, Watt, ER, Eric.
You giblet head.
I don't know what that is, but hey, trusting God. Now that we're ending,
He always shows up late.
it's good to see you.
It was a pleasure. I enjoyed it in the conversation.
Yes.
Thanks.
Very
It's
nice.
always a pleasure having you up here. I love the thoughts and opinions and the eye openers that you bring to the table too, because you always get me personally thinking about things in a different way. It's like thank you for looking up torpor.
Now
Now,
we know.
yeah. So, and thank you to my awesome moderators for keeping chat healthy and safe. Yeah. So, Bushcraft. No? Okay. Well, y'all have a great night. God bless. And just breathe. Don't focus too much on it. But I wanted you guys if you weren't aware, I wanted you guys aware so it's not a surprise when it happens.
Wait, Bigfoot's got to say the word again, though.
Oh, yeah. Say it one more time. Oh, goodness. Thank you, Grape Gems, for being here. And Cashew, Connie, Gingerbug, all of y'all. All right. Love you guys. Good night.
Good night, y'all.
Hey.
God bless.